channel. So in this video I will be talking about the long-term ownership review of my KTM Duke 390. This is almost 2.5 years old and I have driven it for around 36,000 kilometers. Please forgive me about the sound because I don't have an external mic. As soon as the lockdown gets over, first thing I'm gonna do is get a new mic for this phone. So let's get started with the review. When I purchased this bike, I got it for around 2,67,000 rupees. If I talk about the competition to Duke 390 in India market, we have BMW G310R, Honda CB300R, Bajaj Dominar 400, and if I take the price into a consideration about 3 lakhs mark, then I should consider the Interceptor 650 as well. So coming to the looks of this bike, I think this is one of the best looking bikes in 300 to 400cc segments. So I personally like this look a lot. That's the reason why I purchased this bike when it was launched in 2017. So coming to the best thing about this bike is the performance of the bike. This bike has a 373cc engine. The power and torque outputs, you have many videos in the YouTube where you can find all these specifications about the bike. In this video we will be mostly talking about what I like about this bike and what I don't like about this bike and what was the total cost of ownership. Talking about the engine of this bike has a very good quality engine. I mean, with respect to power, this bike will beat all the other bikes in this segment. Whether you take it in a drag race or a top speed, this bike will beat all the other bikes hands down any day. The low end torque of the engine is something which you have to consider if you are planning to buy this bike mainly for city commutes. Personally, I have noticed that you cannot be on higher gears and lower speeds. If you are at lower speeds, you have to be in the lower gears. That's when this bike will perform the best. So if you are, let's say, in third gear and traveling at 20 kilometers an hour, the engine is gonna knock for sure. The service interval of this bike is 7,500 kilometers and each service will cost you around 3,000 rupees. So every alternate service we have to replace the brake pads and the chain sprocket. The brake pads lasts you for around 15,000 kilometers and same goes for the chain sprocket. The cost of the brake pad is 2,000 rupees and the cost of chain sprocket is 3,000 rupees. But let me tell you, in the first brake pad lasted me for about 15,000 kilometers, but the second set it was already worn at around 10,000 kilometers. If I have to talk about the issues which I have faced with this bike in this 35,000 kilometers, I have the radiator which was replaced at 10,000 kilometers. I did not pay anything for the radiator. It was covered within the warranty. And also about the tail lamp, it got fogged up in the rainy season, so I had to get it replaced. Even this was covered in warranty. So this bike comes with stock Metzeler tires. Metzeler tires are very good for track usage, but when I used these tires initially when it came with the bike, it lasted me for about 16,000 kilometers. And then after that I changed, first the rear tire was changed at 15,000 kilometers and I switched to Michelin Pilot Street, and the front tire I changed to Michelin Pilot Street at around 24,000 kilometers. But I must tell you, these tires are very good quality tires and I have covered almost 20,000 kilometers with the rear tire and 10,000 kilometers with the front tire. Let me tell you something about the difference between Metzeler and Michelin. Metzlers are very good tires. It is meant for track usage and it is meant for high speed corners, whereas this tires, it is for touring, commuting and all the general stuffs which we do with these bikes. I'm sure 90% of the owners which will buy these bike will not be using it for track day usage. But if you are planning to use this bike mainly in the city, then I suggest once your first set of tires are worn out, you better switch to these Michelin Pilot Street, because these tires are not very hard and not very soft, so it blends in between. So it fits both the purposes, even for highway rides and for city commutes, because I have got very good feedback with these tires. I have done around 163 kilometers an hour of top speed on these tires, and let me tell you, I did not face any differences between the stock tires and these tires. Two other issues which I faced with this bike was one with the front ABS brake lines. So it got cracked at around 34,000 and I spent 2,000 rupees in order to get it fixed. And recently these front fork seals got damaged. The right fork, the oil is leaking a bit, but I have yet to get it replaced. Because of this lockdown, I'm not able to replace it. So I don't know what is the exact price for the replacement of the front fork seals. Another major issue with this bike is the heating issue. So if you are traveling in jam-packed traffic, let's say at 10-20 kilometers an hour, this bike is bound to hit, because it is a single cylinder engine and it has a high compression ratio. If you are not wearing proper protection, that means full length denim and a proper shoes, definitely your thighs are gonna get fried. The heating issue mainly is evident in the summer season. In the winter and rainy season, I think you can manage it because I have been using this bike in daily commute, and only it was the summer time when I was facing issues with the heating. The radiator always comes on every now and then. But let me tell you, if you are going on higher speeds, that means on the highway, or let's say anything above 50 or 60 kilometers an hour, you won't feel the engine heat at all. So at higher speeds, this bike remains cool, but at lower speeds, it gets quite hot. So now let me talk about the top speeds of this bike. So as I told you, I have done around 163 kilometers an hour on this bike, and this bike does not take any efforts to reach up till 150 kilometers an hour. After reaching 150 kilometers an hour, this bike will take efforts to reach 160 or let's say 170 kilometers an hour also. So I have seen people doing 170 kilometers and more than 170 also in other videos, but I would not recommend everyone to do that. The safe speeds on these bikes is 120 to 140 kilometers an hour. That's when you can control this bike. Now let's come to the favorite topic of Indian, that is kitna deti hai. So I received around 25 to 26 kmpl on this bike while commuting in the city. But as you know, most of the bikes on the highway, it gives higher mileage when compared to the city. But my experience is quite opposite. I received around 23 to 24 kmpl on the highway, and the reason behind that is when you are going on the highway, it is very difficult to keep this bike under 100 kilometers an hour. So the amount of power this bike has, it will always tempt you to go higher and higher. So to get the best experience on the highway out of this bike, you will have to compromise on the mileage. So coming to the engine reliability of this bike, in all these 35,000 kilometers, I did not face any issues with respect to the engine. Even now, after traveling so much, the engine feels still the same as it was when the bike was relatively new. So I don't think you have to worry about the engine reliability because I did not face any issues with respect to it as such. So the final verdict, whether you have to consider buying this bike or not, it is definitely yes, because if you consider looks, power and value for money, this is the bike to go for. And this bike comes with a lot of features which are unheard of in this complete segment. But if you consider mileage, heating issues and engine reliability, I think you should look at the other options which are available in the market. So that's about it in this review. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe my channel and do let me know what are your thoughts in the comment section below. So I will keep making a lot of videos in future. Until then, bye bye, see you, take care.